Girl, fi just hold ya, put my arms right around ya. Girl, you give me the tightest hold I ever get in my life. Oh yeah, squeeze me, put the thing all around me. Girl, you give me the tightest hold I ever get in my.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and it's been a while since you've joined me in the back garden. Newly redone back garden. We got some turf now. No more having to mow the grass and dealing with hay fever anymore. Got the nice new decking that extends all the way down to the shed, and of course, well, the shed's still holding up true. It's nice. Concrete patio work area in front of the shed now, and yes, we are working on the bike once again. So what do we have in store for this video? And I'm not sure if this will be out on the Wednesday. I'm probably most likely watching this on the Thursday if you are watching it on the day of release. But this is what we have in store. Now, I'm not sure if I need my front brake pads doing yet. I will check those. But the clutch, and since we're at the point where it's MOT time, it's time to give it its service as well. So I'll do the air filter today because that's pretty easy. Then we got fresh oil filter, fresh spark plug, and of course we have fresh gasket, fresh clutch springs, and then the fresh full clutch pack kit here from EBC. All I have to do with this today, it's currently Tuesday, that's why the video may not be out tomorrow on Wednesday, because that is when we are doing the clutch. Well, my dad is coming to help me do the clutch, but we're going to soak this, I'm going to slap this in. But yes, update with the bike. Other than the clutch, it's been running fine. I still need to order a new battery, so that will be with this week's payday. I should have the money for the battery, and then also to renew the insurance. And then of course we'll slap the OG plate on because that has the reflector on it, and we'll be able to go get it MOT'd, and I'm sure this thing will pass yet again with flying colors. Although I do need to remember to put the quiet boy back in. You know what I mean? Put the baffle in and put the MOT compliant number plate on. There's nothing illegal with this number plate. It's just they have a weird little law that you have to have a little reflector on your number plate, even though the number plate itself is reflective. But yeah. Anyways, let's get into soaking the clutch first, I think. All right, so we got the clutch pack down here. This bowl I've cleaned out, so no washing up bowl. And a lot of motorcycles share the engine oil with the gearbox and everything. It's kind of like all-in-one oil. So we're just using some of the lightly used motor oil. I do have a full fresh one of these, plus a big, nice Castrol bottle of oil. So I'm not wasting any, to be fair. This is just my top-up can anyways, to be fair. But you know, Castrol motor holders are the only oils I really use. Two brands synonymous with JDM racing, to be fair. I like to keep it somewhat tied to its origins. Plus, Yamaha themselves like to use Motul and Castrol on their factory machines. Alright, so first thing, this is my first time doing a clutch on a bike, so you know, that tells me just need to take these out. We'll space them around. And they just need to be covered. They don't need to be drowning. I'm also pouring on a slope. I should have put it on more of the flat bit. Just a little splash more. Oh. Alright, now we're gonna move that to the flat. Alright, so there we go. You want them just barely swimming. Try to make that sit a bit flat. Oh, there's a saw underneath. That's probably not helping. All right, let me get that out of the way. All right, there we go. We've got it. They're in. That is. Yeah, I think it just needs tilting up a little bit. It's not quite flat. I might drop just a splash in there, just to be sure, since this is my first time. But yeah, pretty much about that is all you need. All right, just looking over the front brake pads. They don't need changing just yet. They still got a bit of mileage left on them, so that is one less thing we have to do before the MOT. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get the air filter done, put the baffle in, put the MOT happy plate on, and then that'll be it, ready for Dad to come and do the clutch tomorrow. Alright, let's get this air filter off. But first, where is my ratchet? Where is that go? It's in this box. There it is. I think those ones are appended. So those ones are probably an 8. Yep, that's an 8 for the air box. It's in 12 with these. There we go. Alright. Get the battery box, my LEDs out the way. I prefer my LEDs to have an external power source. So that way I can know for sure that there is no unnecessary power draws in my wiring harness. Loosen that seat bolt a little bit so I can move the panel back and forth. Well, that fell off. I don't know why I wanged it up so much, to be fair. I only put it back in there so I won't lose it. Alright. There we go. One side, this side is already pretty loose, to be fair. Come on, get off. There we go. All right. That's that off. Switch to the 8. We'll grab that filter. And hit my head on the washing line. You're not going to slide off there. Lovely. It is a bit more fiddly doing it with the panels on, but there's no point taking them off. Then I'm not going to take them off. Take them all the way out. Loosen it off so I can lift the whole piece off with the bolts in. just enough room with that cooling bottle there. Two. Come on. It's just loose enough. We're free. There we go. In fairness, on the top side, this filter's still not looking too bad. We'll change it anyway. Plus, I guess this is kind of a little how-to, this bit. For any new WR owners on where your airbox is. How easy it is to access. Got a nice red one this time. Ooh. Can't go wrong with a red air filter. Also got the bag that doesn't want to tear open. Do it like a bag of crisps. Make sure it doesn't fly off. Alright, so it literally just sits on there like that. Under that. Half squash my finger there. I'm good. Oh, come on. You come out. Why aren't you going back in? Oh, come on, you came out easy. Why are you not going back in easy? Should have saw that coming. That's annoying. It turns out you can get it off not taking panels off, but today, for some reason, it doesn't want to go on. Guess we're gonna have to hit the time lapse and remove the panels. So if it is your first time doing the air filter, then I would recommend, you know what, just take the panels off, undo your tank bolts so you can lift it and move it, and then just slot the top back on that way. It's probably easier and you won't stress out. Yes, it's a bit more of a faff, but it will save time just doing it in the first place and then taking it off, putting the new filter in, and then putting the top back on. But at least the air filter is done now. We'll go back to the time lapse and tighten all that up. I don't think we're going to put the panels back on though, because of course we taking all of that off tomorrow, so there's no point really putting it back together completely.
And you never such a girl when she on the cold red. Tell them I say nothing to go slow. And you never build a shoulder muscle with the third leg. Tell them I say nothing to go slow. And you never kiss a girl after she done give head. Tell them I say nothing to go slow. Well in the bed, a man and woman should have hug and caress. So fire on the people when them with the same sex. No matter how you horny and no matter how you dress. No girl have to use your cocky for the gun. No.
Alright, there we go, that's all buttoned up. The tank is all tight on there again. I'm gonna remove this tape over here, and since that mirror's floppy, I think I'm gonna add some tape to this mirror. I need a new set because these are rounding. That one's rounding, I believe. That one's fine, so I can still bend them off. But yeah, need a new set of these. But yeah, I need to at least get that to stay where it's actually, you know, I can see behind me from it. Right, tape removed off there. That's properly installed now. With the clutch actually gone now, it explained why this never felt too good. But then again, it definitely showed the issue with the OEM levers. So that was a slight issue. But then, of course, once that was sorted, once I got the clutch cable to feel good, that's when it unveiled that the clutch itself was actually going. But, you know, at least that's all good. The clutch cable is fine. There's still a new clutch cable, and I don't think I need a new one of these. So yeah, once that clutch is done, this should feel as good as it did the day I got it. Just a little tip as well, if you don't want to lose any of your panel bolts, then just screw them back in to where they thread in when the panels are all on. The WR, there are these ones here, so they actually stay on the panel, but it just gives you peace of mind that you're gonna know exactly where you are, where they are, when you need to put the panels back on. All right, now we just gotta get the baffle on. And another tip, to be fair, because this is annoying to go, put some blue tack in the bolt, so that way when you're fishing it through the hole of your can there, which I have dremeled and made bigger for easier access. That's why it's not perfectly round and doesn't have a bung in it. It just stops that falling off and you losing it when you put your baffle in. And of course, putting the OG plate back on. Gave it a clean up so it's nice and shiny. It's still quite exhaust burnt on that corner though. And I wonder why. That one is not getting too far off itself.
No, you never sell your friend to sell yourself from the feds. Tell them I say nothing to go so. And when you bust a full ratchet full of copper and lead, tell them I say nothing to go so. No boy never make you scared from where you rest your head. Tell them I say nothing to go so. And they never force you fit join no gang.
Alright, so baffle in, OG plate on. That's it for today. Wheel it back in the shed and this weather. Get that cloud coming in. I'm standing in the damn washing line. And yeah, it's definitely burning out that one. Still looking quite fresh on the front there, but yeah. We need to, you know, maybe put something on the back of the next plate I get made, so it doesn't quite do that. Alright, we're back. It's Wednesday. Currently 1:30 in the afternoon. Just got the call from my dad. He's on the way. Wants to do it out the front, so I'm gonna have to pull this out the shed, open up the gate, and wheel it all the way around. And then, of course, come grab all the bits. Alright, so we got the bike around the front here, and this will be the first time you'd have seen it on the YouTube actually, all exposed. But yes, the full silicone hose kit. So we have the Samco Arctic camo, and then you had the white one there. It also come with a nice new white breather pipe, and then of course you have the main one which runs through to the other side. And although I did just get these for that tiny little aesthetic, probably get you know, touch that up, or maybe get a new one of those for aesthetics at some point. I did actually need some new hoses. They were getting old and starting to get very brittle and crack and stuff, so it was only a matter of time before they went. But yes, my dad should be here any moment to fit the clutch. And one thing I forgot to say, obviously I've never done a clutch, especially on a bike before, so I don't know how they come packaged. But if they come packaged in the correct order, then of course recommend remembering how you soak them. So it was middle one, that one, that one, that one, and then that one was on the bottom. So if they are in a specific order when they are packaged, which if that is the case, I assume companies like EBC are pretty good with that. I mean, their customer service and parts and everything, highly recommended and highly praised. So if that is the case, I'm sure it'll be all right. But yeah, Dad knows more about these type of clutches than I do, so I'm sure he'll be able to figure it out. Now, in terms of the bike being MOT ready, once the clutch is done, all I need to do is get a new battery. I do actually have £40 worth of like gift card vouchers that I never know what to spend those on. I guess I know I actually have a reason there, or save me some money on getting a replacement battery from Halfords. Pretty sure you can spend them on Halfords. I have to check. I'm pretty sure they are those type of ones. And then just getting in there and plugging that guy back in. It's pointless anyway, because the bulb always comes on when the ignition's on, and it's dual filament, so that is, you know, your main beam and high beam as well, and the flash. So that's just the side light. But of course, MOT Centre sees a bulb sat there not doing anything, then they'll probably fail me for that. I mean, I almost didn't get it last year because I forgot to put this plate back on, and I didn't have one of these on my new shiny one. Oh yes, and of course I've got to put a little bit of packing in this lever here. You can hear it, no click when it fully goes in, so I need to give it a little push back. So it just needs a little something in there to just help push the switch all the way into its happy spot, so my brake light doesn't continuously stay on when the front brake has been used. But to be honest, that was an issue with that brake switch with the last MOT, and I was able to get it to work with some tape and that, so I'm sure I'll probably be able to do something similar with this. Yeah, it's not too difficult, just the button needs to be pushed in enough to click and disconnect the connection that illuminates the rear brake light. Alright, so my dad is here getting straight to it, draining out the old oil. Now, unfortunately, looks like this may have to be a Thursday release for the video, because I am covering work tonight. But hey, I need the extra money, to be fair, so it doesn't sting me so much getting this all sorted, reinsured and MOT'd for another year. Right, oil is drained. Now it's time to get the side cover of the engine off.
No boy never make you start from where you rest your head. Tell them I say nothing to go so. And them never force you fit join no gang and pledge. Tell them I say nothing to go so. Well, you never inform, make no price on your head. Friend them who vex with you and want you dead. No waste up your chance, we paint the town red. Cause when you bust it up, you see.
There we go, the first time seeing her exposed at the side there. There is the cradle, the pack. There, so get that out, and then of course put in all the fresh discs. Now it does seem pretty straightforward, but I know some bike clutches, they got to be in a very, very precise order with their plates and stuff, so you know, just make sure to take your time with it. You should be cushy. So here is the clutch now, and my dad's saying there is one slightly narrower. That is the one. Okay, yes.
So that one goes in first, then a steel, then all the big ones.
So there you go.
That is your engagement clutch. When you're first getting your biting point, it will bite on the narrow one. They are shot.
Oh yeah, they're done. There's nothing left on them. Definitely got all the mileage out of that clutch, that's for sure. But there you are, people. You ever replacing the clutch on your WR or R125R MTs is the same engine and drivetrain. There you go, that's the order. Right, that has located the narrow one. So it's just a case of get that one on, still, bad, still, bad. And then that is your sequence until your clutch is all built back up. See what that is just tightening in the new springs now. Of course, do it in the same order as you would tighten a wheel on a car. Go diagonal so it goes on there evenly. Alright, that is the clutch itself done. Now it's just a case of gasket casing on, fresh oil filter, fresh spark plug, and then of course a fresh case of motor there. And if that's not quite enough, I do have some Castrol to mix in there, but they're both 10W40 oil. It's a shared oil system on this, so you only need the one type of motor oil going in it. You don't need any ATF or gearbox oil or anything. Let's just apply a little bit of silicone sealant just to help the gasket sit in its home and do its job properly. Old oil filter is out, so we've got the new one in, getting the old plug out, and a fresh one in. Alright, here we go, topping up the oil. Now I have an aftermarket cap, so I had to go grab the OEM cap / dipstick, because you know, you gotta know your levels, otherwise you run this thing on 2 less of oil, you're gonna ruin a perfectly good motorcycle. Alright, sit rep, good news. The new clutch actually feels good, but the clutch lever still wasn't getting the engagement. Maybe need to figure out just how to get rid of the slack with the clutch cable. May have figured a little something out right now. Gonna give it another bump start and see how that goes. Alright. It didn't seem too promising. Didn't quite like wanting to start off. Something sounds loose. Still popping a little bit even with the silencer in. That is the voltage issues. It's still slipping, it sounded like it. So that's how we need to look at the clutch lever and clutch cable setup more on this. Right, sit rep. Pops and bangs ain't as bad because new spark plug that probably isn't coated in carbon and it has a silencer in. Still need a new battery. As clutch cable, when you manually ping it all the way back, it seems to not do too bad. So could it be down there? That spring maybe a little worn out, not sat in the right place. I'm not 100% sure. Focus. Alright.
I'll leave you to move to activate the exhaust. Where it fucking goes.
I think we may have found the issue. So that spring down there, that is where the clutch cable connects and then of course activates all the gubbins inside the gearbox. You notice that little spring that's just kind of sitting free, not on anything. So
not even on any tension, that spring.
Yeah, there's no tension at all. So that's why the clutch lever isn't pinging back and doing its job properly, and why it smoked the clutch initially. Yeah, so that is the final update of today. Yeah, let's hope we just need to hook that round, spring round onto that arm there. See if that works, and then if that spring isn't as taut as it should be, then we'll probably get a completely new one, but we'll just try and hook it back on. See if that helps. Oh, that's good, it's still in one piece. And then of course we'll be able to adjust the clutch up to feel good, so we'll do that tomorrow. I feel a little one trying to go through my legs right now. But yeah, we have to get the exhaust off to access it a bit better, and obviously where we've been running it now, it's a bit warm to be doing it, and covering work tonight, so we'll have to do this quick tomorrow before we edit up the video and release it. Alright, we're back. So if you remember, this is the cause to what made the clutch go in the first place, and that caused the lever and the cable to do its job properly. Although it did need new levers, and the clutch was definitely tired and worn. That was the culprit. And of course, it has to be in a fiddly place, so let's say we're gonna have to remove the rear section of the exhaust here to be able to access it, get it in properly. You can see it's sat in its home there at the bottom perfectly fine. And there is the other thing, and it's supposed to sit somewhere up there, I guess. There's a little mark there, I guess, where it used to live and rest. Let's get into it. We ain't got time to be messing around today. Gotta get this done, get the video edited, and get it up before I go to work this evening.
Oh, rest in peace, Radical Raja. Shout outs to Mr. Pato. Rough, like a soup in a pot. We are what? A bubble in a heart. A Johnny's bubble in a heart. Heart, heart. A Johnny is a heart. No, bubble in a heart. Heart, heart. A Johnny is a heart. Just like a soup. Johnny's bubble in a heart. Heart, heart. He's bubble in a heart. Bingo, 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 bingo. Johnny is a heart. Heart, heart. He's bubble in a heart. Just like a soup in a.
That was fiddly, but I think I got it. You can see, hooked it on to the top there, and see how that goes. Right. As you can see from there, that is pinging itself straight back. As for the lever itself, there is no slack there, so we'll tighten this in and adjust this properly, and then take out the back and bump start and see how it goes.
Ooh, Jonny K is on the maintenance stopper. We make the bass dropper, and Johnny do it proper. You can't test the style, cause you know my style. And let me tell you what, in case you ever got my style is at the top of yours, is cheap, the happy shopper. I'm getting on my light from the almighty topper. And Jonny K, I lighten up the mic non-stop.
Alright, got the bike out the back, got the chest rig on. Let's bump start it and see how the clutch feels now. Oh, that has come out. Is it not threading anymore? Okay, that feels good. That feels good. Well, it's definitely making nice noises, pushing it as well. Alright. Oh, got a car reverse onto the driveway there. Oh, that's cool. Alright. Let's do it. Flick the key on. Oh. Right, so it's changing gears nicely, but I think I need to get new steel plates because the clutch still slips bad. I didn't realise the clutch kit only come with, I didn't realise the clutch kit didn't come with the steel plates as well. It's only the pads, but it goes into neutral a lot nicer, so the lever issue and the engagement issue is sorted. We can still baby it around and be gentle. We just need a fresh battery and those voltage issues will be sorted. But yeah, for any spirited riding, it looks like we're gonna need to get a new set of stills for that clutch. But you know what, it's rideable, and if we can figure out that situation there as well, then maybe we can actually maybe do some adjustments there. We'll figure it out. But at least the clutch is engaging and disengaging properly. It's going into neutral properly, and it's not making weird noises when you're pushing it in neutral either. Let's see. All's got juice. No, not enough juice. It used it all on the fuel pump. All right, sit rep. What do we have left to do with this bike? Wow. We're gonna quickly look up how much battery is if I have time. Then that will be the last thing in the video. We'll put a new battery in so this thing can just fire up under its own power without needing to be pushed and kind of forced into life. Get the panels back on. Try and get that so it doesn't just keep falling out. The position it's in is good, obviously. And then in terms of the MOT, we've got to connect these back up, which have gotten tangled around the clutch cable actually. Because of course, loose connection, it looks bad. We've got to put that useless side light bulb back in this little home. And then, obviously, insurance. Of course, needed to spend money on the battery and shit. Why did the battery have to shit the bed? No, that is what it is. We're almost done. All right, new battery secured. Make sure I actually register this one this time. So if it does shit the bed on me in a year, I can replace it for free under warranty. And the excitement of getting this thing back on the road. Forgot to do it to the last battery, so not gonna make that mistake again. Let's get this in, and hopefully we can end this video off with this thing firing to life under its own power. Alright, here we go. Battery's tightened up. Oh, fuel pump straight into life. Oh, we're not neutral. Now we're in neutral. Going into neutral beautifully now. Here we go. Let's hit the button. Oh yeah. Set of those in, that noise should go away. But just got to get the panels on, get that back in, and then this thing is ready for MOT pretty much, other than reinsuring it. Alright, it's definitely, that noise is stopped now. It definitely isn't coming from the engine, so that's good. There's nothing mechanically wrong. I think just where the clutch isn't 100% happy because we didn't get the stills, it's just a little but it's in neutral nicely. Look, even the neutral light is staying on strong, which means it is properly in neutral. Yeah, we'll give it one more blip for the video. Oh, guess the neutral switch isn't quite playing ball right now. At least we have a functioning battery, and she's firing up on the button without needing any throttle once again. All right, that is going to be it for the video, other than putting the panels on and maybe taking it around the block just to make sure that the clutch is disengaging and engaging properly. Of course, I still think it's going to slip in first because of the stills, but I think it was about 80 quid. The shop where we got the battery was saying he looked up for me, so it's not too bad. It's still a bit pricey, but at the end of the day, a clutch is quite a big vital component for, well, not just a bike, any vehicle, to be fair. So it doesn't sting in the bank too much. At the end of the day, she's worthy enough to pass an MOT and cruise around on streets and hopefully not miss out on too much. Thankfully, Flowing Spring is just down the road. Looks like I'm gonna have to be pedaling and getting my exercise in this month, going to that. That will be the next video, I believe. So until that one, make sure you have a good evening. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please like the video. Of course, links to my socials down below. Links to Car Medness socials down below. Keep your eyes peeled because she has been bit by the biker bug herself. So expect to see some more two-wheeled content on the Car Medness socials. And of course, the main man, Jonny K, down below as well. He's releasing so many tunes this year, and with the good weather, there's no better tunes to be blaring out your patio doors than some awesome drum and bass covers of some reggae classics. And of course, last but not least, DBD Autos down below, the man that come and help me with my clutch. Make sure you are hitting him up. Space is very limited, so if you need something important done, make sure you're getting in contact ASAP and booking yourself a slot in. So until the Flowing Springs Cars and Coffee, you'll have a good one. Peace.
Thank you.